This is a giant pork belly braid. It's juicy, it's tender, and it's freaking delicious.
A big thanks to borniak Smokers for sponsoring this video.
Have you ever seen braided meats before? Kinda makes no sense, but I called up my butcher, Gert-Jan, and I asked him to get me a whole side of pork. Looks like he got the assignment. It's truly a giant piece of meat. Look at the size of this thing. It's insane. And that makes it perfect for what we're going to do with it. You see, I can't just turn this into braided pork. I gotta do something to this. I need to make sure that I got at least a little bit of even thickness to it. You see, I've got a real thin bit right here. That's not gonna work for me. I got little lumps of fat here that I'm going to take off. I wanna square this up a little bit. I'm gonna start by cutting it in half so I have an idea of how big it's going to be, and so I can get a good idea of the cross section of the meat. Then I'm going to remove the floppy bits and the real thin parts. Now the trick is to take the top part, leave it together, and then cut this into 3 sections. That's one done. Let's do the other one. Look at this. The size of this thing. It's insane. I've never seen one as big as this. There we go. That is a giant. Now I'm going to braid this, and if you have a daughter, then this is super simple. If you don't have a daughter, well, just look at what I do. Now this is a big chunk of meat, so I need some heavy seasoning. And therefore, I'm first going to season this with a little bit of PITMASTERX Texas seasoning, which is salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. All the recipes for this seasoning is on our website as well. So you can buy this in our web shop, but you can also get the recipe on our site. Sprinkle it on, put it on the sides. Make sure you just get a little bit of seasoning everywhere. We want each bite to be super, super tasty. For a little bit of color and more flavor, I'm going to use the pork seasoning. And this is a mixture of European style flavor with the American barbecue flavors. They just work so well together. Now for the braid, it's super easy. You're just going to fold one over the other, make a little room, and then fold it up. Make sure you got the ends tight, just like that. Then I'm going to take a skewer, run it through the meat, take some butcher's twine, and with the noose, tighten that up. There we go. Now I'm going to do the other one as well, of course. We both want these on our barbecue. First a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of pork. Get that seasoning off the board. There we go, like that. Super, super easy. I'm going to stick in a skewer at the ends of the pork belly. And then we'll do the same thing with the butcher's twine. Tie it up. And now that they're tight and secured, they're ready to go in the barbecue. I'll be cooking the pork belly braids on my borniak smoker. And the reason why? It's because I can hang them. This is an electric smoker, which means I'm going to fill some wood chips in the hopper on the side, and then I'm going to switch it on and set it to smoke at a temperature of 120 degrees Celsius. I'm going to put some rods in and then hang the pork belly braids up, close the door, and just let them smoke. And at this point, the thing that I'm looking for is 2 things. One is the color, the other is the temperature. Around 70 degrees Celsius core temperature, I want to stop smoking because the braided pork belly stops taking on more smoke flavor and just leaves it out on the outside, building up an intenser flavor, which most people don't prefer. And on top of that, I really like the way that the pork belly looks at the moment. So all I need to do now is hit the smoke button to stop the borniak from smoking. I'm still going to let the pork belly continue to cook, but I'm going to raise up the temperature to 140 degrees Celsius. That will speed up the process of cooking the pork belly because I need to get it all the way up to a 92 degrees Celsius. That's going to take a while. Wow. Insane. Oh, look at this. Wow, what a color on these braided pork bellies. Look at that. That looks so good.
Can you pull bark off it?
It's bark, definitely. Whoa. Oh, that's cheating. The trick is to wait and let these rest. Now it's getting a bit colder outside, so I'm going to take some aluminum foil, cover them up, and let them rest for 20 minutes. All right, you ready for this? This is going to be the slice of all slices. You want to take a look inside that pork belly braid and stick around. Look at that. Stacking juicy upon juicy upon juicy. There's literally dripping juices. Look at that. I'm gonna take the official bite. I want a little bit of that beautiful dark smoke color on my pork belly braid, and guess why I didn't put on any sauce? That's right. It's the same reason why you don't put any sauce on a brisket. It just tastes better without it. It took a total cooking time of 6 hours to cook this pork belly braid because it was so big. But in the end, the results are worth it. We got juicy, tender meat, cooked up to a core temperature of 92 degrees Celsius. Let it rest so it's juicy, it's tender. The only thing I was really worried about is it falling off the hook. Luckily, we had enough meat to hold on it just in time, but it was on the edge. So be careful with that if you want to hang it. You might not want to go over the 92 degrees Celsius core temp. For the rest, this is magnificent, and I definitely recommend it.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
It tastes even better.